Okay, tell me why I just found houses in the US selling for less than the price of a used Toyota Corolla. Like, did someone forget a zero? Well, we're looking at 10 US states where home prices are so low, it feels like a scam. And I'm not talking about some tiny cabin in the middle of nowhere. Nope. Some of these deals are suspiciously nice. You'll see houses with big yards, cozy kitchens, even fireplaces for what you'd pay for a studio apartment in literally anywhere else. But here's the kicker. There's usually a catch. Weird towns, quirky locals, or maybe it's just a really cold winter. Either way, the kind of stuff most people miss. So stick around, hit that subscribe button if you need more content like this, and by the end of this list, you're going to wonder, would you actually move here, or is this just too good to be true? 10. Indiana. In Indiana, the median home price here is around $280,000. Houses are remarkably affordable, neighborhoods are friendly, and the state offers a mix of urban, suburban, and rural living. But let's not sugarcoat it. Winters can be bitterly cold and gray, and certain areas lag economically, with fewer career opportunities outside Indianapolis or Fort Wayne. Public transportation is limited, so owning a car is almost mandatory. That said, Indiana balances the drawbacks with perks that make it feel like a hidden jackpot. Affordable homes mean you can get more space, maybe even a yard, garage, or basement, without the financial stress found in coastal states. Cities like Indianapolis provide arts, culture, sports, and entertainment options, while smaller towns offer tranquility, charm, and tight-knit communities. Nature is easily accessible. Lakes, rivers, and state parks are abundant. As long as you're prepared for winters, economic limitations, and slower-paced towns. It's the ultimate balance. Cheap housing, livable communities, cultural options, and outdoor access all rolled into one state. Indiana might have surprised you, but trust me, the next state has even more to offer. 9. Kentucky. The state of bourbon, horses, and surprisingly low home prices. The median home price is around $265,000. You can get a 3-bedroom house with a yard bigger than most New York apartments for what feels like pennies. Sounds amazing, right? Well, there's a catch. While small towns like Bardstown and Berea are charming, some areas are struggling economically, which means fewer job opportunities and slower growth. Rural areas can feel isolating if you're used to city energy. That said, the perks are huge. Rolling hills, rivers, and state parks give you adventure right outside your door, and cities like Louisville and Lexington offer surprisingly vibrant cultural scenes and breweries. The neighborhoods are generally safe, and the cost of living is low enough that you could realistically own a home without stress. If you're willing to trade some hustle for charm, it's a state that surprises in all the right ways. Kentucky brought plenty to the table, yet the next state is on a whole different level. 8. Arkansas. Home prices are low, landscapes are gorgeous, and the Ozarks, lakes, and rivers provide outdoor opportunity. The median home price is about $260,000, but the downsides are worth mentioning. Some towns have limited job opportunities, especially outside Little Rock, and salaries tend to be lower than national averages. Healthcare access can be spotty in rural areas, and public transportation is nearly non-existent. Arkansas also has its share of extreme weather, from hot, humid summers to occasional tornadoes. On the plus side, outdoor enthusiasts will find endless options for hiking, fishing, and camping, while those who appreciate slower-paced living will enjoy the relaxed atmosphere. Schools and services are hit or miss depending on the town, but the cost savings make many of these compromises manageable. Arkansas doesn't pretend to be perfect. It's affordable, beautiful, and uniquely American. You weigh cheap housing against slower economic growth, rural isolation, and occasional extreme weather. Arkansas gave us a lot to talk about, but just wait until you hear about the next state. 7. Louisiana. Louisiana is colorful, cultural, and cheap, but also messy in parts. The median home price is around $250,000. However, there are real drawbacks. Flooding is a constant threat in certain regions. Hurricanes are seasonal realities, and property insurance can be pricey. Some cities and towns struggle with crime and poverty, which can make certain neighborhoods less appealing. and public infrastructure isn't always reliable. That said, Louisiana has positives most states can't touch. The food, music, and festivals are unmatched, giving life a constant buzz of culture. Outdoor enthusiasts have access to swamps, bayous, and lakes for kayaking or fishing, while history buffs can explore centuries-old architecture and traditions. Communities are tight-knit in smaller towns, and there's an authenticity that big cities often lack. The climate is hot and humid, summers are long, and mosquitoes are relentless, but the lifestyle, culture, and low housing costs often outweigh these annoyances. For someone willing to embrace its benefits, it's an irresistible opportunity, but you'll need to weigh the weather, flooding, and infrastructure realities before jumping in. Louisiana brought the heat, but the next state is about to turn it up even higher. 6. Mississippi. Mississippi is almost like a dare. Cheap homes, culture, and southern charm, but also some hard realities. The median home price here is just $250,000. Houses are jaw-droppingly affordable, often with large yards and classic southern architecture, but the state struggles with high poverty rates in many areas. Job opportunities can be sparse, schools underfunded, and healthcare access limited in rural towns. Some cities have high crime rates, which means location really matters. Now the upside. The state is rich in culture and personality. Food is incredible, seafood, barbecue, and traditional southern dishes, and music thrives with blues, gospel, and country echoing from small-town bars to festivals. Nature is a strong suit. Rivers, forests, and Gulf Coast beaches provide a surprisingly wide variety of weekend activities. Mississippi is cheap enough that you can live comfortably and still enjoy life's pleasures, dining, festivals, hobbies, without constantly stressing over bills. For those who value affordability, culture, and small-town warmth over big-city convenience, Mississippi offers a unique, under-the-radar opportunity to live well without going broke. If Mississippi left you shaking your head, the next state might just leave you speechless. 5. Ohio. Ohio is next, and yes, it's cheap, like shockingly cheap, but there's more to the story. The median home price here is around $248,000. Home prices are low, neighborhoods are accessible, and there's a surprising variety, from Columbus, urban energy to small towns with historic charm. But there are downsides. Winters can be harsh, gray, cold, snowy, and long. Some areas, especially in the Northeast, have struggled economically, with factories closing and jobs shifting. Certain towns feel stagnant, and if you're used to a warm climate, Ohio's Midwestern chill can be a shock. Yet the perks are compelling. Schools and hospitals are generally decent, especially in suburban areas. Ohio is a mix, affordable, livable, and versatile, but winter blues and economic inconsistencies. If you're after a state where your money goes far and you can choose your lifestyle, Ohio delivers, but the next state takes things up another notch. 4. West Virginia. West Virginia is the quintessential hidden gem with a catch. The median home price is about $243,000. Home prices are astonishingly low, especially in small towns where a three-bedroom house might cost less than a studio apartment elsewhere. But low prices come with trade-offs. Rural isolation can be a real factor. Economic opportunities are limited, and healthcare and public services can vary dramatically depending on your location. And some areas struggle with infrastructure issues. Yet the perks are massive. The Appalachian Mountains, rivers, and lakes make the state an outdoor lover's dream, with hiking, skiing, fishing, and kayaking available at almost every turn. Culture is rooted in history, and local festivals provide a sense of connection you rarely find in bigger cities. For someone craving low-cost housing alongside adventure and a tight-knit community, West Virginia feels almost like a cheat code. But it's definitely not for everyone. 3. Oklahoma. Oklahoma is a wild mix of everything. The median home price is around $236,000. The state's housing market is insanely budget-friendly, with spacious homes, large yards, and even some modern builds available for prices that feel like a typo. But here, the reality check. Job opportunities can be limited, especially outside cities like Oklahoma City or Tulsa, and salaries often lag behind the national average. Summers are brutally hot, and tornado season is a real risk, so you'll need a safe basement or a solid plan. Despite that, Oklahoma has perks that make people stick around. Outdoor enthusiasts can explore lakes, rivers, hiking trails, and even caves, which makes weekends feel like constant mini vacations. The charm comes from the low cost of living. Groceries, gas, and utilities won't break the bank, which is a rare find today. Oklahoma is like a secret door. Step through and you get land, space, and savings, but only if you can handle the heat, storms, and quieter job market. Oklahoma set the stage, but nothing can prepare you for what's next. To Iowa. Iowa often gets overlooked, but that's what makes it so appealing. The median home price here is about $233,000. Home prices here are unbelievably low, and the variety is impressive. Farmhouses, suburban gems, and small-town cottages all fall into surprisingly affordable ranges. But Iowa isn't perfect. Winters can be long, gray, and snowy. Some towns feel stagnant economically, with limited job growth outside urban centers. Despite these drawbacks, Iowa delivers in ways that matter. Farmers markets and local festivals provide social life, and small businesses thrive. Nature lovers will enjoy the rolling plains, rivers, and state parks, which make weekend adventures easy and enjoyable. Schools and healthcare are generally solid, giving families reassurance alongside low costs. The trade-off is often climate and slow growth. But for anyone prioritizing cheap, livable homes and friendly communities, Iowa quietly ranks among the best-kept secrets. Iowa gave us plenty to unpack, but we've saved the biggest shock for last. 1. Alabama. Affordable homes, good weather, southern charm. It's easy to see the appeal. The median home price here is about $230,000. But let's be real, not everything is perfect. Some areas, especially in the rural South, have higher poverty rates, which can mean underfunded schools or limited healthcare access. And urban options like Birmingham or Huntsville are growing but still don't compare to bigger cities for entertainment or career opportunities. That said, the perks are plenty. Homes are cheap, neighborhoods are spacious, and the lifestyle is laid back. Food is amazing, from southern barbecue to fried catfish, and music scenes, blues, country, jazz, are alive in towns across the state. Nature is a huge bonus. Beaches along the Gulf Coast, rivers, and hiking trails make outdoor activities easy and fun. Summers can be scorching, but the savings often outweigh these challenges. Alabama is a state where low home prices give you freedom, but you have to be prepared for hot weather and limited public infrastructure. For someone who values affordability, culture, and a slower pace, the benefits are big. But for those who need fast-paced city life or high-paying urban jobs, Alabama may feel a little restrictive.